Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
The builders. That was interesting because that was mentioned with the star map earlier. I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
Let's just... I want to ask about the builders.
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
That one.
Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
Alright, he won't know that because it said no words exist to say how long ago this was. Yeah, go on then.
Cautionary. Master, this line of questioning may be interpreted as attempting to change the story. He may react poorly.
Let's not then. Let's carry on, I think.
Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves. Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand. The fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free. Translation. Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the long walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
Awesome, go ahead then.
Translation. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people, and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again. Outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine.
Interesting.
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master.
That's awesome. Let's see what other questions we can ask.
Cautionary.
Yes.
Clarification. They appear to hate humanity with a passion, only rivaled by their hatred of the Builders. For some reason, you resemble what they once were. Perhaps there is a lingering fear that you are their tainted selves returning from exile among the stars. Cautionary. Master, if you mean to suggest that humanity is ancestrally linked to ancient Tatooine, you will strain his belief system to its pitiful meatbag maximum. Just ask him. Translation. Cautionary. As expected, he is claiming you have committed blasphemy.
Great.
Warming blasters, combat is inevitable.
Oh. Drat. Whoops-a-daisy. I didn't mean to do that. Fine, die, all of you die.
Ready.
And by die, I mean, I'm gonna die. Oh, oops. Cure? I need to alter the... Oh, okay. Great, when was the last time I saved? That was all... Oh. Yeah. Alright, get on with it. Oh, I saved then. Okay. What does that gain me, though? Let's not do that again. To the Enclave thing! Oh, I can't... in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording, I'm going to go through all that again, and then I'm going to start again, because I might have learned something there that will be logged and important in a future conversation. So, but I'm not going to have you guys watch it all again, you know, and I'm not going to listen to it all again. But yeah, I'm going to just explore that a little bit more, so I'll catch you in a little while.